Maybe this message found you not by chance, but because something inside you has already started to shift. We've been taught to think positive, to visualize our dreams, to repeat affirmations, hoping the universe will respond. But what if that was only half the truth? Mo Issa once said, yes, the law of vibration is the primary law. The law of attraction is only the byproduct. And maybe that's what no one ever told you. Because it's not about thinking harder, it's about tuning deeper. Vibration isn't something you do, it's what you are in each sacred breath, each silent reaction, each invisible choice. Some call it energy, others call it presence. But the truth is, your frequency speaks before you do. It shapes the field around you before any goal, intention, or plan can take form. So if life has felt stuck, off, or strangely out of rhythm, perhaps the answer isn't outside of you. It's in the silent song you've been vibrating all along. Let's return to the forgotten wisdom and uncover what vibration really means. There's a hidden current behind every manifestation, and it's not thought, it's vibration. Not the idea, but the embodied frequency you carry even when you say nothing. Mo Issa reminds us, the law of vibration is the primary law. The law of attraction is only the byproduct. That means it's not enough to want. You have to become the energy that resonates with what you seek. We often confuse mindset with vibration. But here's the truth. Mindset is like hearing advice on a podcast. Vibration is what you feel when you actually connect with someone who lived it. Tim Ferriss once compared this to listening to wisdom all day, but never speaking from your heart. Information without resonance changes nothing. And then comes the myth, if I just visualize hard enough, I'll manifest it. But without emotional charge, without body-soul alignment, visualization is just daydreaming. Mo Issa warns, visualizing alone doesn't shift your frequency unless you feel it as truth. Imagine tuning into a radio station. If you're off by even 0.1, the signal is distorted. Your life works the same. You must switch the field, not by force, but by tuning into the subtle alignment of thought, feeling, and intention. Daily practice. Right now, pause, close your eyes, imagine a color that represents the reality you want to live. Breathe in that color, let it fill your chest. Feel the physical sensation of already living that vibration. Not the story, the frequency. Let your body become the antenna. Real life. Story. One woman on Reddit shared how she stopped obsessing over affirmations and started simply feeling gratitude while washing dishes. That's when things began to change. Small offers, unexpected peace, synchronicities. She didn't chase vibration, she became it. Sometimes it's not the external world resisting you. It's the invisible weight within, pulling you slightly off tune. Your vibration doesn't lie, and often it whispers what your words refuse to say. There are moments when it feels like life is pushing back. But what if it's not punishment? What if it's a reflection? As the guide from Live Life Made to Order shared, when your vibration feels like an attack, it may be that your field is echoing unhealed patterns that beg to be released, not suppressed. One of the most dangerous traps on the spiritual path is pretending everything's okay, smiling through heartbreak, repeating mantras over buried shame. But vibration doesn't reward performance, it mirrors authenticity. When you ignore what's inside, you only feed the shadow. Trying to stay high vibe by bypassing pain is like painting over a leaking wall. Eventually, the truth seeps through. The work then begins in awareness. Mini moments of inquiry. What did I just feel? What thoughts surfaced with it? This is not analysis, it's sacred witnessing. To clear vibrational blocks, try this. Sit in stillness. Place one hand on your heart. Breathe in slowly through the nose for 4 counts. And as you exhale, write what you're truly feeling. No filter, no judgment, just presence. This fusion of breath and journaling turns emotion into clarity. There's also the voice of the body. That tension in your chest when you say yes but mean no. That heaviness when you ignore your own rhythm. When you suppress the body's wisdom, the energy doesn't disappear. It calcifies. One story tells of a man terrified to speak in public. He thought it was just anxiety, but when he allowed himself to feel the fear and trace its roots, he uncovered an old shame of being seen. Through daily emotional releases and grounding, his field softened, and for the first time, his words came out steady. That's the truth. What you feel is not your enemy, it's your tuning fork. Your vibration is not only what you think, it's how your body breathes when no one is watching. It's the space between your thoughts, the stillness that speaks. Neville Goddard spoke often of imagination, but not as fantasy. He said the law is always working, not when you wish, but when you embody. You don't manifest what you want, you manifest who you are being. And that state of being, it lives in your nervous system, in your posture, in the rhythm of your daily presence. Many confuse temporary dopamine spikes with vibrational elevation. A good meal, a scroll through social media, a loud, shiny goal. But frequency isn't stimulation, it's coherence, sustainable, gentle, real. Try this challenge. For 24 hours, unplug from artificial highs. No mindless scrolling, no excessive sugar or news. Just observe. Notice how your field begins to detox and how subtle truths begin to rise. To recalibrate your energy field, begin integrating a hermetic ritual. Each morning, sit with one scene you wish to live. Not as a fantasy, but as a felt experience. Breathe it, hear it, smell it. Let the image dissolve and leave only the vibration. Support this with the body. Use EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique, gently tapping as you repeat words of alignment. Combine it with deep, conscious breath. You are not escaping your reality, you are reprogramming your resonance. A man once shared how, after disconnecting from digital noise for just 3 days, he noticed something strange. He felt his intuition come back. Colors looked different. People responded to him without him saying a word. He hadn't changed his mindset. He'd just realigned his vibration. Because that's the key. When body, mind, and soul vibrate as one, the world listens. Vibration isn't a single moment of clarity. It's a rhythm, a hum, a field you carry, even when no one's looking. But many wonder, if I meditated this morning, why does everything feel off by afternoon? The truth is, most don't struggle with raising their vibration, but they struggle with keeping it, because frequency is affected by far more than thoughts. There are 7 subtle disruptors of your energetic field. Thoughts, environment, speech, consumption, music, habits, gratitude, or the lack of it. Each one is a string in your internal instrument. When one falls out of tune, the whole song shifts. That's why vibrational mastery is less about control and more about daily attunement. Start with a simple practice. Each morning, scan your field. How does the air feel around you? What's your first thought? How does your body respond to silence? This is your climate check-in. If something feels off, use a quick conscious fix, a shift in posture, a 10-second breath cycle, a gratitude whisper, not shouted, just felt. And remember, vibration is contagious. There's a phenomenon called interpersonal resonance. You emit energy and others feel it before they hear it. So if your relationships feel draining, perhaps it's not personal. Perhaps it's vibrational misalignment. One woman shared how, once she began curating her physical space with calm, soft lighting, nature sounds, intentional objects, her energy field shifted, and suddenly the argument stopped. Not because she fought less, but because she no longer vibrated in the frequency of conflict. Your vibration is your responsibility, but also your quiet gift to the world. There's something no one tells you when you raise your frequency. You might begin to feel out of place, not because you're doing something wrong, but because you're no longer vibrating in the same frequency as your surroundings. Spiritual growth often comes with invisible resistance. You feel lighter, clearer eyes, but also more exposed, and suddenly you notice people misunderstand you. You're judged, even subtly. Some pull away, others criticize, but this isn't rejection, it's resonance shifting. When you emit a higher frequency, those who are not ready to meet it may react, not out of malice, but out of energetic dissonance. You are no longer familiar to the patterns they've known. How do you protect your vibration then, without closing your heart? Begin with an ancient principle: what you emit returns to you. This isn't karma as punishment, it's energetic reflection. When you meet judgment with neutrality, you reclaim your field. Here's a subtle but powerful tool: energetic anchoring. Each morning, visualize a sphere of light around you. See it not as defense but as clarity. Within it, only truth vibrates. Let it expand from your heart and hold your presence, especially when you feel watched or judged. There's a story of a man who began radiating calm after months of deep work. He became a mirror for others' unrest, and they projected their discomfort onto him. But instead of shrinking, he began writing short reflections daily, tiny entries of vulnerability and spiritual strength. Over time, not only did his field stabilize, but those who once resisted him began to listen. To walk in higher vibration is not to seek approval, it is to honor your resonance, even in silence. We've been told that high vibration feels like bliss, like constant joy, like floating above the chaos. But that's a misunderstanding. Real vibrational elevation is not always light and fluffy. It's often raw, honest, filled with contrast. Many in the New Age path fall into what we call toxic positivity, a belief that feeling good at all costs is the goal. But when you silence your sadness, you also mute your depth, and vibration responds to truth. The real work is not to avoid the dark, it's to let the shadow pass through you without shame. How do you know if you're in authentic high vibration? You feel calm in discomfort, present in grief, open even in the unknown. Before reaching for happiness, try this: 3 slow breaths. And instead of trying to shift the emotion, simply allow it. Feel its edges, name it softly. You don't need to fix it, you just need to stop fleeing. You can also use music to support this practice. Not upbeat, not forceful, but resonant. Pieces like Bach's cello suites, ambient drones, natural soundscapes. Let them hold space for your whole spectrum. One woman once said she believed she had to be happy all the time to stay in alignment. But when she allowed her anger, her sorrow, and met them with love, her vibration didn't drop. It deepened, and for the first time, her manifestations came not from desperation, but from wholeness, because true elevation isn't lightness alone, it's integration. So now you've heard what they rarely say out loud. That vibration is not a trend, not a technique, but the sacred current underneath everything you are, feel, and silently radiate. Let's remember together, vibration is the primary law. Attraction follows it like a shadow. Positive thoughts without emotional resonance are just static. You can't fake alignment. Your field reveals what your words can't. Blocks aren't curses, they're invitations to meet your hidden self. Consistency, not intensity, is what shapes your reality. And your elevation isn't about being untouchable. It's about being whole. When you understand this, you stop chasing and start tuning. You stop performing and start embodying. And that is when everything begins to respond. Affirmation: I don't force my reality. I become the vibration that welcomes it. I honor my shadow, my breath, my stillness, all as part of the sacred signal I send. Daily ritual. Each morning, before checking your phone, sit in silence for just 3 minutes. Ask yourself, what do I truly want to feel today? Not what do I want to do, but what frequency do I choose to live? Let your breath carry that vibration. Let your body remember it. And let your choices reflect it, not perfectly, but presently. If this message whispered something to your soul, like comment or share it forward, not for numbers, but because someone else may be one vibration away from remembering who they truly are. Your field matters, your presence speaks, the universe is already listening, and so it is.